The following video is a conversation with the OpenAI app ChatGPT, and I'm going to be posing as a player shopping for an MMO, and I'll be asking questions, basic questions about DC Universe Online, and we'll see what it comes up with. Hello everyone, this is Redragon back with another episode of DC Universe Online. Although this one is mostly looking at the new AI app called ChatGPT, and we're going to see if it can help us out with information on DC Universe Online. So, unless you've been living under a rock, ChatGPT is the latest thing in the news, and it's a natural language app that both input and output try to read conversational language, and it tries to answer your questions much like a search engine would. Yeah, for those that don't know, you could type a question into Google or probably any other search engine, end it with a question mark, and it will do its best to answer the question. So ChatGPT does that, and it's been in the news because it's been pretty interesting. It actually types you a lot back, so it's writing very well. You could even ask it to write things, and it'll make an attempt to do that. So let's dive into it. Alright, so this is what it looks like if you start it up on a desktop browser. This does work also with mobile. So I did prepare some questions to begin with, but first we're just going to type DCUO just to see what it comes up with. Okay, so basic description. The first time I tried it, I typed out the full DC Universe Online, and I got something much more detailed. My keyboard is not typing some of these letters, so okay, let's see if it returns the same thing. Oh wow, it didn't. Yeah, when I did this yesterday, it gave me 3 paragraphs back. So it is doing things differently now. Okay, so anyway, we have the basics of what DC Universe Online is. Let's type in some of the questions. Now, I don't believe I have to type DC Universe Online again. I think it knows that I'm within there. Oh wow, that is a good answer. So again, acting as a new user, I'm using character classes because that's typically what people look for when they look up an MMO. So DC Universe Online doesn't really have like classes and races like a D&D based MMO. So it's listing the power sets. Power sets available for. Although it shouldn't say hero characters because you can make a hero and a villain. Oh wait, it's the same. What? They just gave it in different order? Okay, so there's definitely errors here because obviously Earth can be both. In addition, power set players can choose a weapon to use in combat. Oh, okay, so that's good. It doesn't go into the movement mode, but I would say that's not as important as power and weapon, because you're assuming there's going to be some kind of movement mode anyway. Okay, so we want to know how large the player base is. I don't have access to real-time data. According to reports, 2021, 30,000 monthly active players on PC. It's worth noting this number can fluctuate over time. So this is probably going by some published either letter or quarterly report. So yeah, it's basically pulling what it can find on the web. It's not obviously digging into the actual server because it doesn't have access to do that. So it's going based mostly on like articles and things that have been published in the news. So yeah, that's an okay answer. And then we're gonna check out the platform, see if it gets this right. And it got them all. Free-to-play game on all platforms. Option for paid features and expansions. So 4 or 5 Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, Microsoft PC. Okay, that's right. Let's get some system requirements. I actually don't even know what the system requirements are. They're probably something really low. Yeah. So this is probably just off the official website. By now, everyone's probably far beyond those stats. How much does it cost? It's probably going to give us that last bit again. Yeah, free to play on all platforms. Pretty generic. So it does give you examples of some things in the marketplace. Slots, powers, in-game items, storylines. But it obviously doesn't know like the player cycle of spending, because that's not really published anywhere. Now we're gonna ask it something a little bit less direct. This is almost like an opinion thing, so we'll see what it comes up with. Character design options. It has to know what character design is also. Oh, wow, okay. Okay, so this is exactly what I would want to know. Choose the gender, body type, thin, okay. Costume, pre-designed costumes create their own by selecting pieces such as how, oh wow, okay, this is really detailed. Weapon type, okay. Movement, so this gets into the movement. And then it tells you what you can color, it's got personality. Okay, so this is surprising. This was more detailed than I thought it would be able to answer. Well, this is almost the same question, but let's see how detailed is character creation. Okay, so it did get into the facial features. Oh, now it's saying mods and skins for like weapons. Okay. Now this one again is asking for opinion. Is the combat system fun? Because combat system is typically important if you're looking for action or if you're looking for turn-based. And as you know in MMOs, not many of them have the action part down right. It's considered to be fun and engaging. Game uses fast-paced action. Oh wow. Okay. This is really important here. Fast-paced action combat system with real-time dodging. Okay, so this tells you it's definitely not turn-based, and it's gonna probably act as an action-adventure game, because it says real-time dodging, blocking, counter-attacking. So it goes into the powers, movements. Okay, so it's got large-scale group battles, so now we're talking about bosses. Combat system is considered to be one of the game's strengths. That is true, because again, not that many MMOs have that type of system. U.S. based, I'd say, because they're, you've got the South Korean stuff that's like super high end. here's a fun one. Is the player base friendly? Is generally considered to be friendly and welcoming to new players. Helpful community with many experienced players. Game also offers social features to form groups and leagues. While there is always potential for negative interaction with other players, it's known for being friendly and supportive. To be honest, I think that's wrong. Over the years, I don't think the community is friendly. There are a handful of good people, but generally, no. I would say no. Now we're going to see how it ties in with the other DC properties. It is related to the comics universe. Game features character and storyline comic universe. Players to interact with and become part of the DC universe themselves. Draws on many classic storylines such as battles between... Okay, so that's pretty generic. Players can interact with iconics. So it's important that they're mentioning that you interact with iconics and not play as them. So that, like, this is not Batman Arkham Asylum. Yeah, this is pretty accurate because coming from the devs, DCUO is considered like a best of the comics universe. So they pull stories from various eras and various story arcs. Okay, so it does know the basics of the game pretty well. And I think this would actually be helpful to someone who is shopping for an MMO. Now, most likely it's not going to know the details that well because that stuff isn't published in text anywhere. I don't know if this thing reads video. It probably doesn't. Let's try something. Let's ask it what is a good... Well, actually, this is probably published somewhere. But let's just see what it comes up with. Oh, wow. Okay. They probably pulled this from the wiki, because it's actually going to give us all the powers. But will it give us an opinion on the loadouts? Oh no, it didn't give us everything. Is it going into tanking? So immolation is the shield, yes. Backdraft, yes, you need that. Wildfire you could use for both. Inferno, both. One-handed. Weapon mastery offers a trio. Did it just pull the one-handed randomly? Because, in my opinion, one-handed weapon mastery actually is good for tanking because it's got several double counter moves. But it doesn't talk about that. It just, yeah, I'm curious about where it got this information because, again, this is better than I thought it would be. I didn't think it would give us an answer. Overall, this loadout emphasizes generating, maintaining heat while dealing damage to enemies and providing self-healing, yes. With right gear, this mod can be very effective for tanking. Huh. That's not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. I've tried this with Pokemon Go, and it does not know the details of the game that well. Like if you ask for how to beat the boss, it gives you like a weird response of, getting a group together and fighting the boss. But you obviously can't do that. That's a solo mission. So yeah, it's not going to get the details right, but these do get better over time because you can contribute to it or you can kind of correct it in the conversation. Because like as I mentioned in the beginning, when I typed in DCUO today, it was different than the response I got yesterday. So it is constantly changing. But anyway, I just thought this would be a fun test. Stay tuned for more videos and thanks for watching.